Hello, one and all, and thank you for joining me for this special topic video. Today's topic that I have to present to you is the top 5 changes I would like to be seen made to Monday Night Raw. Because as we all know, ratings for Raw have been going down week after week after week. I mean, they're not even touching the 4 million mark. They're like 3.2, 3.1 million. And there's a good reason why people are tuning out, because right now, World Wrestling Entertainment, when it comes to the main roster, because NXT is a whole different beast, it is awesome. It is the best weekly wrestling show that I watch, and I love it because it's wrestling and it's done right. And I could go on and on about NXT all day, but I'm becoming bored with watching Monday Night Raw. I mean, it just every week it seems to get worse and there's no improvement. There's none at all. And there are definitely some changes that are needed to, Raw to boost the ratings. And I think if they make any changes, these would be the best ones to make. Now, this is my opinion. I would like to hear what everyone else thinks would be good changes to make to Raw in order to increase viewership and just get real interest back in the product. During the time when it is known that WWE usually doesn't try in the fall, they're on autopilot, and it's clearly shown because these episodes of Raw have just been boring and lackadaisical. There's clearly no effort going into them, and it's a shame. I wish they had a consistent product year-round, not just during Mania and around SummerSlam. So these are going to be the top 5 changes I feel that need to be made to Monday Night Raw. And we'll kick things off with number 5. I believe there needs to be a change in the overall format of the show. As we know, Raw typically opens with a long 20-minute promo, then a match, then usually another match, and then at the short match, and then at the top of the hour, we either get another long promo or, a longer match, and then it's just, to me, it seems like the format has been played out. It's just not exciting television. I mean, when Raw opens, you want to kick it off with a bang. And what I would like to see is open it up with a wrestling match. New concept. NXT does it. Other shows have done it. Raw used to do it. Why can't we do this now? I'm tired of them opening up with Kane, Seth Rollins, The Authority, and it just drags the show down. When they opened up with the Wyatt family a couple weeks ago, I liked that. That was different. And I heard they opened up with Randy Orton and Dean Ambrose last night. I didn't watch Raw because I heard I wasn't really looking forward to it, and apparently I didn't miss much. But we need to change the pace of the show up. It just feels like we're getting the same exact show week after week after week. And I feel like if the format of the show was changed to maybe make it just a little bit more exciting, a little bit unpredictable, go backstage, cut away here, you're doing an interview and something's going on backstage or out in the parking lot, or to just get away from the ring. It just feels like everything that it takes place in the ring, all they do backstage is talk. There's no fighting or going into the crowd. Just mix it up and change the format up, and that might help make each individual episode of Raw feel fresher going on a week-to-week basis. So that's number 5. Number 4. Overall, on the main roster, they need to be doing long-term storylines. We're going from point A to point B. There's a destination. I would like to see progression. A long-term feuds. I mean, they are doing this in a sense with the Kane and Rollins feud, but I think nobody gives a crap about that feud. I'm sorry if you do like it. Good, that's good for you. I'm glad you're enjoying it, but I personally am not enjoying it. But there has been some long-term planning when it comes to that, such as, Rollins, berating Kane week after week after week, and then him eventually taking out Kane after Lesnar attacked him. But, they need to be doing more long-term planning, such as, say, with a Kevin Owens. You have him go on this undefeated streak as the Intercontinental Champion, and you would long-term plan to have him face Sami Zayn at WrestleMania for the Intercontinental Championship. That should be the destination. Or say a Cesaro. If you want Cesaro to win the Royal Rumble, he would be a great candidate. He's probably not because they aren't doing much with him. But you need to, start now. It should have started a while ago, but start now in building Cesaro up on TV on a week-to-week basis, to get him ready to win the Royal Rumble. Or what they did with Daniel Bryan, a couple years ago. It started at SummerSlam. He fought Randy Orton. He kept losing. He never quite got that championship opportunity, and it was unintentional. But the way that the fan reaction went and how it propelled Bryan back into that main event scene after the fiasco at the Royal Rumble in 2014, and then at the Chamber, and then finally winning the title at Mania, beating Triple H in the same night, that was a long-term organic storyline that worked. I feel like if we go back to planning for the future, then it will carry over into your TV shows, on your Raw on a week-to-week basis, and you'll become more invested. You want to be a part of the journey each and every week to see where this story's going to go, where the end game is. Will it end at Survivor Series, or are they going to keep this going until, say, the Royal Rumble, or, have two guys as a tag team, say Ambrose and Orton, and eventually, build for them to eventually be a successful tag team, and over time, cracks form, and eventually they would split. And you could see an Ambrose and Orton feud, say, at WrestleMania. You could do stuff like that. I feel like that would help the direction of the show, because right now it feels like there is no direction when it comes to multiple stories, or lack thereof, occurring on Raw. So that is number 4. Number 3, it's simple. You need to stop bringing back part-timers and legends and rely on your new talent, your NXT generation talent. You have the talent available. It's just creative is not giving them anything good to do. These guys are talented, such as a Cesaro, a Cody Rhodes, a Dean Ambrose, hell, Roman Reigns, a Bray Wyatt, Braun Strowman, Luke Harper. The list is endless. Ziggler, Rusev. They have the talent. Kevin Owens, Neville. I could go on and on and on. It's just, it feels like they're being given a backseat, and instead we're bringing back guys like Lesnar, Taker, The Rock, Triple H, Sting, and no offense, I love seeing all these guys, but it is time to put focus on the, as I'm calling it, the NXT generation. It's their time to shine. So you need to do everything that you can to build multiple new stars. Not just one, not just a Roman Reigns, but we can have multiple top guys, such as a Dean Ambrose and a Cesaro. And, when Daniel Bryan comes back, he should go right back into that top spot, even though his health issues aside. But you can't just rely on a Lesnar, a Taker, a Sting, a Cena, even an Orton, because Orton's starting to... he wants to take time off and not work as much as he has in the past, have a lighter schedule. And who's to say that Cena, he's always there, but as we see, he's taking time off for a couple months to film a fitness show. So, you need to invest in the future, because without the future, you have nothing. And I feel like right now, they're not doing that. They're still going back to the well, and it's only putting a Band-Aid on a gaping wound. So... they need to definitely focus on new stars. That's a must. Number 2, less scripted promos. Good God, I cannot stand when they do this. Everything has to be scripted. Everything's scripted. Before they used to go off, bullet points. Okay, you're going to get across these points. And you kind of let guys go off the cuff. And it kind of was like sink or swim. Okay, either they're going to suck or they're going to frickin' excel, and at least you would know. You're giving them the chance, and who knows, a lot of these guys on the current main roster, they would probably be a lot better if you just let them go off the cuff. Perfect example would be Roman Reigns. When they script him, it just doesn't work for him. If they would just let him be himself, turn the volume up 150, that's what made guys like, a Triple H, a Stone Cold, a Rock, guys like that really excelled during the Attitude Era. A Chris Jericho, they were allowed to go out for it. They had the creative freedom to come up with stuff on their own. And it really helped them get over, and it made the product feel more organic, more real, not so fake and phony as it feels now, because what you're hearing come out of these guys' mouths, is not what you think they would really say. It's really what the writers have written for them. So I think that would be a great change to make to Raw. And another thing, I cannot stand it when they're giving interviews and they do this. They're looking at somebody else. They're looking at the person they're interviewing. Hello, you need to look into the camera. Shout out to Solomonster. He brought this point up, and I could not agree more. It is so freaking annoying when they're being interviewed. Instead of staring at you, the viewer, like I'm doing right now. It's like if I just did this for the whole video and talked, not staring at you, the people watching, but over here or up there or whatnot. No, you need to look directly into the camera, and it's a minor thing, but it goes back to making that connection with the audience. That is key. That is crucial. That is the best way to get over. You have to make that connection to the audience, and if the audience loves you, if they're supportive of you, you can go places. So that is my number 2 on my list. And the number 1 reason, it's probably obvious. I've been saying it for a while now, but ever since July 2012, Raw went to 3 hours. And I feel like overall that is killing the show. It is just too much, too long. Raw needs to go back to 2 hours. I mean, you're oversaturating your product. I mean, there's just too much time and not enough content. There's a lot of filler on Raw. It just feels like, oh God, I wish the show would end. And I feel like at 2 hours, that's the perfect mark they need to hit. I mean, look at NXT, for example. It's a 1 hour weekly show with 5 2-hour pay-per-view specials. And those feel special. And a 1 hour weekly show is easy to watch. When I'm watching Raw, I feel like it just drags, and it feels like it's never going to end. And there are times when I'm like, oh, I just feel like shutting the show off. And what I did this week was I didn't even watch because I knew it probably wasn't going to be a good show. So I feel like if you go back to 2 hours, then you could take some of the stuff that you can't get everything in on a 2 hour show, but then it makes, SmackDown that much more important. You can take that content and carry it over to SmackDown and make that show feel more than a Raw recap, which is pretty much all it is. So you restore some relevancy to SmackDown, you make the product feel fresher, you're not overexposing so much talent on a week-to-week basis with 3 hour shows, and you make your 1 month pay-per-view specials feel more important, because right now they feel like just a Sunday Night Raw, since they're 3 hours. If you go back to 2 hours, then the 3 hours will at least feel a little bit more special, and you won't be doing the same matches over and over again and the same long, boring promos to fill time. So these are my 5 changes that I would make to Monday Night Raw in order to increase ratings. I would like to hear Yin's guys' thoughts on what changes you would like to be seen made to Monday Night Raw. Leave them down below in the comments section, and I would greatly appreciate it if you would like and subscribe to my channel. And with that, I am out. Peace.